And I just want to let everyone know this is going to be one of our best calls we've had yet. So if you have people that you want on this call, make sure you go and send them the link right now. This is going to be one of our best calls yet. I have a lot in store for all of you on A to Z and what Gearbox is if you're a beginner. And then near the end, we're going to get into a lot more advanced training, Q&A after some of the testimonials and the results. But to start off, I want to go ahead and I'm going to set the tone, and we're going to get right into the risk disclosure, as this is very important. So the first thing you need to understand is that trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin and utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that could lead to a complete loss of any investment funds. Before deciding to trade in the foreign exchange market or use any of our software or alerts products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and your risk tolerance. There is a possibility you could potentially sustain a significant loss. You should not invest or trade any capital you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading. And please seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Avoria Prime LLC does not exercise trading authority over your trade. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every single trade. And if you are sharing any results from Gearbox, please note they are only designated in Facebook groups. Please do not use the term company recommended settings. The company does not have any recommended settings. Avoria Prime is not a financial advisory firm. Avoria Prime licenses software that users can use however they want at their own risk and discretion. Gearbox does not come with out-of-the-box settings upon initial setup. Customers have the ability to customize their settings however they do want. And Avoria Prime has nothing to do with a customer's broker account. We do not solicit or take investments, and no brokers are recommended. Again, Avoria Prime just licenses software, and we sell amazing education that users can learn and potentially benefit from. Any settings that I share are the developer settings and not company recommended settings. This call is for educational purposes only. So now that we've covered all of that, let's get into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to get first real quick into exactly what the Gearbox software strategy is about. I'm going to take a quick 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to actually get into sharing accounts with you. And I'm not just going to share my own accounts. Right now, I have actually pulled up Myfxbooks from many of our beta testers, and I'm talking about accounts from $500, $250, all the way to an account you're going to see today that has $100,000 in it running Gearbox Live. So with that being said, we're covering all the bases, and we're going to show you exactly what this product is and why it is designed for truthfully any account balance and size. So to get started, let me get right into the software strategy. Just let me know you guys can all see my screen. You see that it says Gearbox software strategy. I just want to make sure we are sharing the right screen. If you can see that, go ahead and let me know in the chat box. Awesome. I see that you all see it. So the first thing is this is a grid-based strategy. Now, the thing with most grid-based or cost averaging strategies is they give you PTSD, they give you nightmares, you can't sleep well at night, you're worried about crazy drawdown because they normally enter pretty randomly and their goal is just to kind of catch reversals. Now, with this grid-based strategy, using different data, we're actually able to skip into the trade. So what I mean by this is you could say, hey, I don't want to enter until a level 5 trade, meaning that you could wait for a currency pair to have a 207 pip move with no retracement before you actually even enter your first trade into the market, meaning you're skipping all of these potentially losing trades, which would be viewed as drawdown. So again, the strategy can be different based on settings, but it is a counter trend trader, but you are ghost trading the trend, which I'll explain what ghost trades are in a minute if you're brand new. And that's typically where you would have gotten into drawdown, say a level 0, level 1, level 2. This you can ghost trade, so trade it behind the scenes, not in your account, but in a notepad. The software will trade it, and you can enter wherever you want to enter into a trade and skip the drawdown and typically enter into trades in the real market right before that pullback or retracement occurs. So you may be asking which currency pairs can be used, and Gearbox can work on any currency pair truthfully with the proper settings. Now, we do have historical data and gear entry choices on the 24 pairs or 25 pairs to the right. The green 7 pairs are the Forex major pairs, and of course, are great options. As you know, we are in election week right now. So some people might totally eliminate trading the actual majors and the USD pairs just for this week, or they may test them on some of my very conservative strategies, such as the Super Sniper, which we'll explain a little later in this call. But again, due to Gearbox design, any currency pair can work if you understand the average range that it typically moves before a retracement. So if you ever understand the average true range and look at historical data, see how far typically something moves before it has a pullback, and you study that data, you could actually truthfully get Gearbox to work on indices, metals, really anything. It's extremely customizable. But again, we've focused in all of our testing heavily on the minors and the majors here. Now, you might be asking, can this software be used with multiple pairs? And the answer is yes. The strategies that I'm sharing with you today are actually scanning all of the currency pairs. We have data on all the majors and minors. All right, so there's 24, 25 pairs. We're actually going to scan all of them for proper entries, but we have put a risk setting in place in Gearbox where you have max pairs trading at once. So even though we're scanning all 24 currency pairs for great entries, let's say 6 of those currency pairs said, okay, we have an entry. It's not going to take it on all 6 if your risk setting is allow 1 max pair to trade, 2 max pairs to trade, 3 max pairs to trade. So you can actually limit how many pairs you're trading, but still scan all of them for proper entries. And then once one trade closes and you now have an available space for a new currency pair to enter, Gearbox will go ahead and alert of that entry, or if using the international version, it'll enter based on your settings. And it's very simple. We have those risk settings, but yes, you can scan all 24, 25 currency pairs you want to. There are the majors and minors. And you might say, well, what is the goal of the software? The truth is this software's goal is to catch a solid amount of pips on every trade with low lot exposure on the total account. When I show you some of these Myfxbooks today, you're going to see that the software actually does not trade a lot of lots. It is very low lot exposure, but its average amount of pips that it catches is typically very high in comparison to a lot of expert advisors on the market, because it is truthfully looking for larger moves in the market. And I would consider Gearbox to trade with a more institutional strategy rather than a traditional retail strategy. It's tending to get into trades that take a few days to play out, sometimes even a week, week and a half, 2 weeks to play out. It's taking longer positions, but it's also securing larger moves. Now, again, how long should this software be used per week? I know many people are used to different softwares that perform best Monday to Wednesday, or perform best, during trending markets and not during ranging, or they might perform better in ranging and not trending. The truth is Gearbox can perform in any market based on your entry settings. If you're ever in a volatile week where you might question, hey, do I want to trade? Limit your max pairs trading and increase your entries on the pairs you're scanning, where it has to be a very precise trade to even get into a trade, right? So you're not just randomly trading during times like that. You're actually setting proper risk and making it to where you're getting into a more precise trade. So again, it's all end user choice, but truthfully with the strategies shared and the ideas, you should be able to trade through most major historical events that have occurred and reoccurring based on data. Now, what time frame is best to use? That's going to be your daily time frame. Daily is always going to be the most accurate. You're going to want to make sure that you are trading with accuracy, and daily is always going to be looking for a much more solid confirmation than some of the lower time frames. And the software can be turned on 2 hours after market open. It'll automatically do that, which is typically when the spreads get lower. And it can, again, be turned off by user at their discretion, but it can run and analyze 24/5 with proper settings. And what trading sessions are best for optimum performance? Truth is, again, all sessions are good, but where I notice it makes most of its profit is actually during the London session. Now, that's not when the trades enter. It often enters trades before then, but that's typically when I see a lot of trades hit their take profit and meet their profit targets, is during those late night London sessions. I wake up to a lot of trades typically in floating profit, or typically closed out in profit. So it'll tend to find its best entries and execute or exit the market during those times. And minimum balance for best results, 250 can work. Just understand there's a risk to using such little equity with any software. 500 is better. And really, when using any form of cost averaging strategy or any trade strategy like this, you should have $1,000 or more. It's typically ideal. But historically, I'm going to show you data and I'm going to show you results. from testers that have Myfxbooks running $250 accounts, $500 accounts, and even, as I mentioned, some accounts as large as $100,000. Now, I set these drawdown targets much higher. Really, when I first made this presentation, as ideal. As you look at historical data in some of these Myfxbooks, you'll see many people aren't hitting anything close to this. But again, on a $250 to $500 account, yes, the max you would ever really want to see yourself and probably be able to stomach is 50%. On 1,000, the max you'd probably want to see is 30. And on a larger account, really 15% is probably the max, ideally comfort level wise, anyone would want to see on any EA they're using. But as I covered here, with conservative enough settings, 5 to 10% is very realistic for larger accounts. And we're going to go ahead and share that data with you guys today. And then again, what days is it best? Every day the Forex markets are open. You can hold trades over the weekend. You can do it however. Now, I want to get into the software. I want to show you a little bit about it because I know a lot of people are having questions, right? What is it? What's exactly doing? What is a ghost trade? How does this exactly work? Now, the first thing I want to actually cover, believe it or not, because I want to show this to you guys, is who wants to actually see in under 5 minutes right now me set up a Gearbox, right? Because we've all set up EAs. It's taken you tons of time. It's super hard, right? I want to show you guys in real time me actually go ahead and set up a Gearbox right now. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to chart all my windows here. I have already inserted. I'm going to show you guys right now. Drag this over to the screen. All right, I have already inserted all the currency pairs in my market watch window. So if you were brand new, you would have to hit hide all on these once you logged in and then type in all of these. I've already got them all open. So I'm just going to go through and hit chart window on every single one. And I see somebody said, you can't set this thing up in 5 minutes. And I'm going to show them right now how we're going to set it up in 5 minutes, because I want you all to see that setting up Gearbox is actually one of the easiest setups I've ever done with any expert advisor. And that's by design, because I wanted to make this super simple for anybody. I wanted to make it to where, you know, anyone can come in and set this thing up. So if you're brand new and you've never even set up an expert advisor before, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually opening up the currency pair, all right, for every single, or the chart for every single currency pair that I want Gearbox to trade. The ones I showed you right here to the left, the 25 majors, minors. I'm going to go ahead and just open every single one of them up. And once I have all of these charts open, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to take them all right here, and I'm going to put them like this so we can organize them. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put it on every single one of these on the daily time frame. And I see somebody in the chat box here, Tomislav said NZD CAD is missing. The broker I am trading on does not have NZD CAD. So I'm only trading 24 of the 25 we have data on. If your broker offers that pair, then you can also trade that one as well. But my broker does not seem to have NZD CAD. So we're just going to go ahead and skip that one. But all I have to do now is switch every one of these to the daily time frame. As I covered, we want to be on the daily time frame to have the most accuracy and the most precision. And then once all of them are on the daily time frame, you're going to see how quickly we can actually put this and set this up, right? You're thinking we have to drag Gearbox on every single one of these 24 charts and click all these boxes. And nope, that's not the case. I'm going to show you exactly how simple this all can be. And I hope one of you has been timing me, right? Because I know I got challenged by Matt here to set this thing up in under 5 minutes. So now I'm going to open a random chart we're not going to run Gearbox on. You see, I just opened gold. I'm not putting Gearbox on gold, but I am going to use this chart in a minute. First, I need to go ahead and put Gearbox MAV on a chart. I'm going to go ahead and click these boxes. I'm going to hit OK to the default input, which is the normal sniper strategy. As you should see, mine should typically auto-validate here once it pulls up, as I did already verify my Avoria Prime license. We'll give it a minute to pull up here. It's saying it cannot set the timer. That It's not tending to be good here. That means that my VPS for some reason is going slower than usual. So I'm not sure why it is doing that today. There we go. The timer has been set. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go back to this gold chart I had opened. I have one Gearbox open, and now I'm going to load up Gearbox open. All right, so I loaded up the Gearbox loader. We have the Gearbox loader here. We're going to check these boxes as well, and I'm going to hit OK. And then what Gearbox loader is going to do is it's actually going to load up a UI right here, which we should see come up in a minute. And it's going to allow me to select my software strategy. And then it's going to actually load that software strategy onto every single chart. We see it's also trying to set the millisecond timer here. VPS is going a little slower than normal today. So we're going to give it a minute until it sets this and the UI shows up. Sometimes you might experience this. I don't know why. It depends on if your VPS is being slower or not. Sometimes I should reset your VPS. It seems right now it's having an issue pulling up the UI. So we'll go ahead and we'll actually come back to this in a minute once the UI shows up, because it's seeming that it is not wanting to pull up for us right now, which I don't know why it's doing that to us as we're only running one instance. But we'll go ahead and get, oh, there we go. The loader has worked. So again, sometimes it might take a minute. If you go to your experts tab and you don't see it showing up and it's saying can't set the timer, your VPS is just running a little under speed there if you see that happen. But now that we see the strategy loaders here, I'm actually going to just choose my strategy based on my balance. So you may see that there are different strategies. For $250 balance, you have Super Sniper. And somebody said how to change if you choose the wrong strategy. If I hit use this strategy and then I want to change, I can just hit use this strategy and it'll update it. So you can just re-hit the button and it'll apply the correct one if you choose the wrong one by accident. But the different strategies you see, you have a double take profit or a ghost plus real. What this means is if you were ghost trading in the ghost market, which if you still don't know what that means, I'm going to show you in a minute. It's going to calculate your take profit based on if you were in all the trades that you traded behind the scenes, as well as if you needed to make enough profit to get out of them. If you're trading with double take profit, it's actually going to go for less profit than ghost plus real. So ghost plus real goes for larger take profits. Double take profit is going to be actually less because it's looking to make the take profit of the trade you take it would normally make without any initial other trades it has to calculate, and then it's doubling it. So ghost plus real, like I said, is going to secure more profit. Double TP is going to get in and out of trades sooner and secure less profit. And then you have Super Sniper is waiting for very precision entries, and 250 balance only allows one max pair trading. So you may scan all 24, but you're only going to trade one. Sniper, it's going to go ahead and 500 is going to trade two balances. All right, or two pairs. Even though you're scanning 24, it can trade two at once. 1,000 is going to be able to scan three at once, and you have Swing and Sniper here. Swing is getting into the trade sooner than Sniper. Swing is entering earlier into a trade. Now, for me, I tend to like Sniper, Ghost plus Real. So I'm just going to click Use this strategy. And then what you should see happen here is it's actually going to start applying Gearbox to every single one of these charts. So we'll give it a minute, and you can see it's starting to do that and load them all in. And we're going to let it do that right now in real time to all these charts. But that's how it's going to do it. You can see it's trying to apply them, and we'll let it do its thing here. Now, I'm going to go into the actual results. Yeah, the VPS, I don't know why some of these are being slower than normal when setting it up. We're actually looking into this with our VPS provider. What you will notice is Gearbox does actually use a lot of CPU use. You can see it's slowly starting to apply it to all the charts. It applied it to AUD/CHF. So it's going to go ahead and take its time. It's starting to apply it to every single chart. Just be patient with it. It is doing a lot behind the scenes, but we are going and talking to our VPS providers about increasing resources for Gearbox. So as we get there, we'll alert of anything, but it does work. Just give it some time. As you see, it will apply Gearbox to every chart for you with the right settings. You can see it's speeding up right now in real time on this one and starting to apply to every single chart. So yeah, it's very quick to do. And like I said, you can do it under 5 minutes. If you run into the slower VPS issue, it might take you 7. But as you see, it has just started applying Gearbox to every single chart here. And in real time, Gearbox is now set up. The only other thing you'll need to go ahead and do is adjust your lot size per every single trade you want. And yes, I dragged the EA Gearbox onto the first chart and set it up before doing the Gearbox loader. The reason for that is you want to validate yourself with the Voria Prime first. I auto-validated, so we didn't just do validation on the setup. But if you're a first-time user setting it up, you do want to drag normal Gearbox onto the first chart, and then you're going to hit OK, validate with the Voria Prime your license, and then use Gearbox Loader to load the rest. Now that we did a Gearbox setup and it's continuing to apply it to the rest of these charts, we're going to go ahead and just let it do its thing and continue applying. And we're actually going to get into some software results. I want to show you guys some actual results of testers. So I'm going to show you some of my own accounts before I even show you my own accounts, because right, of course I'm getting results. I created the software. I know how to use it the best. But let's see about other people in our community that have been extensively beta testing this thing for months and have gone through all the trial and error with us, all the updates and the results they've seen on their Myfxbooks and their accounts in that time. So the first one I want to start off with is this is actually one of our testers in the community. And he's running a $250 Super Sniper account. And you can see he started October 1st. And you can see it's updated. And it right now in a month almost made enough money running one max pair trading. It almost made enough to actually cover, a license subscription on such a small balance. Now, I'm not telling you that a $250 account is going to go double or any of that. No, absolutely not. I'm telling you it can work on a $250 balance. It may not be profitable month 1, 2, 3, but the point is it can work. Somebody coming in with a little bit of money could use Gearbox and start seeing success and get their belief up, which a lot of softwares out there, you just can't even do that with, especially you wouldn't even trust them with. Now, here's an account that started as a $500 account. I will tell you that this account is aggressive. This is one of our beta testers using an aggressive strategy. Now, what do you mean by aggressive? He's using the sniper strategy on 24 pairs. Okay, normally for a $500 balance, we allow 2 max pairs trading at once. On this account, I believe this tester is actually allowing 5 pairs to trade at one time. So it's scanning 24, but it is allowing 5 to enter trades in real time. And you can go ahead and see that he has doubled his account since August 3rd, which is incredible. But again, he has also experienced a higher drawdown, being he's running an aggressive strategy. Now, here's one of our testers, and just brilliant guy. Has been amazing in our test group with so much feedback. And he wanted to stick to using the sniper strategy and actually only trading the 7 Forex majors. So he's using the sniper strategy, but he's only trading the 7 majors. And his goal was to focus on low drawdown and great returns with a small balance. And he has done that. He's seen success doing it. And as you see, he's only had a 6% drawdown in that period as well, which, is to be able to see that in the returns that he's seen have been just incredible. And then I'm going to show you, here's an $81,000 account now. You can see I actually believe he's increased his balance, as his gain is 13%, but his absolute 7, which means at some point here, he probably put a big deposit in. Yep, right around here. And here you can see more money has been deposited twice into this account. But again, super conservative, running the sniper strategy on all 24 pairs and having a great result. As well, we'll see this is over $100,000 right now being traded with Gearbox, running the sniper strategy. And right now, this account is up 15% profit since September 4th. With only a 5.9% drawdown, scanning again all 24 pairs. So it's scanning all 24 pairs, but it's allowing 3 maximum to be traded at a time. Same with this account here. Then you see one of our customers and testers here as well has started with a smaller balance. You can see started with $714 and right now is up 21% and only had an 11% drawdown, even with such a small balance, running and scanning all 24 pairs. This is one of our testers who's running all the pairs besides the majors. He's actually running all the minors, no majors here. Actually, no, he's running all of them but GBP pairs. Let me rephrase that. He's running the majors too, no GBP pairs. He's totally eliminated GBP pairs, and I believe he's using swing settings. And as well, in a month, he did 10%, which, you know, he did exactly what he needed to do to cover a license cost and more and see success. Here's another one of our testers out of Germany since August 5th, using the sniper strategy, is up 37% and only had a 10% drawdown. And one more beta tester account I'm going to share here as well before I get into some of my own, and then I throw it to testimonials before we get into our more advanced question answer training, is another one of our testers. They've been using the sniper strategy. This account's been running since May 17th, and you can see they are up 63% with a 15% drawdown and been doing about 10% a month. And I'm sure if we look, there's probably been times where they had it off early on. It looks like they might not have been running as much or maybe updated their lot size in September or October. But you can see they've been running and seeing success. And when I say sniper strategy, I mean the entry levels. How many currency pairs they're running is up to them. Most people are running all 24, but only allowing 3 maximum to be traded at a single time, even over their $1,000 balance. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys as well some accounts here. So let me get into some accounts. This one I actually know needs to update, and I don't think it has. So in real time, I'm going to go ahead and update this one for you guys and see if it'll do it for me. Sometimes it doesn't like to do it. If you ever get your Myfxbooks stuck, this is how you update it. So I'm going to see if it's going to go ahead and connect and update these results for us so we can see the most accurate Myfxbook possible in this account. It may not do it for us, but we're going to go ahead and see. And it looks like we're actually getting somewhere, but it may not be doing it. So there we go. It did it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. This account is now up over 30%. This is a swing account. Now, when I first started it, actually for the first about month, I was actually running the lot size at a 0.01 per 3,000. My rule of thumb for Gearbox tends to be a 0.01 per 1,000. After this first month, I increased the lot size to 0.01 per 1,000. And you can see most of its growth happened after that point, and started having success. But this account has actually only taken 79 trades, as a profit factor of 33, and you can see on average, it's going for 60 pips. So you can see its expectancy per trade is 48, and its average trade length is 6 days. So as I mentioned, we are tending to trade with a more institutional strategy. You're looking to hold trades longer. That does tend to be how it does work. Now I'm going to show you as well a more aggressive strategy as well. I'm running on a $1,500 balance. This account is trading 6 currency pairs at any time. It is scanning all 24. So again, we scan all 24, but I only allow 6 to enter trades at any single time. But this account has gone up 45% since July 23rd. I had it off for about a month's worth of time while making some updates. And you can see it's been doing its thing and powering through. Another account is this $2,000 sniper account. This is also a more aggressive account. It's running the sniper strategy, but it is trading 6 pairs at once as well. You can see it's up 64%. I as well had this account off pretty much all of July and only on for a week of August while making updates to the software. But you can see this account has been doing incredible as well. And then I'm going to show you this 40K. This has been running the sniper strategy since inception of the sniper strategy. It has had a 5% drawdown. It is up 30% now on a live account since August 3rd. Now, I've shown you guys tons of results, explained some of the strategies, just to break it in again, because I see somebody asked, how can we see the settings for each strategy? Can we open one pair and load a strategy, then open another pair and load a strategy? So to answer this question, I'm actually going to give you a visual display, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up real quick. So here's the strategies explained. Let me size this to our window here. All right, so this was almost a year's worth of data on how many times each gear was entered using this strategy running these 25 currency pairs. Now, what I've gone ahead and designed is where the entry is going to be on each of these currency pairs based on how many times it was hit in that year. So you can see if you wanted an early entry, you could do it here. If you wanted a swing entry, you could do it here. If you want a sniper, it'd be here, super sniper here for these pairs. And then some of them even more out, such as the GBP pairs and Euro AUD, which can trend a little more and tend to go a lot further. You're going to want to basically look in this level data right here is the strategies in themselves. So all each of those strategies is your gear entry settings preloaded for you based on which strategy you want to use, so that you don't have to manually go enter into each pair what gear you want to enter on. You can simply choose one of these strategies you agree with, hit select it. But again, you can fully go into the software and customize it at any time, which I'll go ahead and pull up this software account for you guys so you can see that. And let me actually go ahead and pull it over to this chart. So as you can see, here is Gearbox running on an account. I'm just going to go ahead and open one of these charts. And you can see in here the different expert settings. But what's so important is the gear above settings. So I'm saying for this currency pair, only enter gears above 2. That means I'm waiting till a gear 3 entry, meaning I'm skipping trade 0, 1, and 2. I'm skipping the first 3 trades that happen, and I'm saying if a 4th trade enters behind the scenes in what's known as the ghost trades, enter that trade on my real trading account. So when we look at this account, you see right now I'm trading 3 max currency pairs. I'm scanning all 24 of these pairs, but right now only 3 pairs have trades open in my live account. But behind the scenes, and you can see this on, I'm going to show you the display. You can see right now I have a Euro AUD gear buy 5 open. Right? You can see that Euro AUD has a gear 5 buy open. Now, would my entry settings have allowed me to enter this? Let's take a look. If we go take a peek, my settings are saying enter gears above 5. So actually, if Euro AUD goes a little bit further down, I could potentially meet my execution settings to enter this trade. But as long as I have these 3 trades open, it's not going to enter that Euro AUD trade because I'm maxed out on my pairs I allow running at once. Now, if one of these closes, it's going to immediately look at what the next highest ghost gear is open on any of the currency pairs. And it's going to either take that trade on the international version or alert of that trade on the US version, which you can approve and take the trade. So again, you can see how it trades in the ghost gears behind the scenes. And it has the display here, so you can actually see what trade is happening right now, GBP AUD, as well as in a buy gear 5, right? So you can see behind the scenes, it is actually trading in the notepad. And you're not going to be able to see this on your VPS, but I'll show you on an admin side what I mean by trading in the notepad so that you can have a visual. So we can see this account is 116325. So I'm going to scroll down until I see 11,06325. I have it right here. And what we can go ahead and do is we looked at Euro AUD. We saw we were in a buy gear 5. I'm going to open that file. Oops, that's that wrong one. I'm going to go ahead and open this file. I don't know why I'm not seeing it there. It might have actually just closed it. Up here we go. New file. There we go. We have a buy gear 5, level 5 open. So you can see that behind the scenes, not on my actual trading account, you can see that it is trading in the market, right? I don't have Euro AUD open on my trading account here, but you can see that in a notepad, Gearbox is trading Euro AUD in what's known as the ghost server. So it's trading behind the scenes in the ghost server. and then you get a visual display of where it's at in the Ghost server on your actual UI here. So again, that's me getting into Gearbox. I'm going to throw it to some testimonials and some amazing guest speakers we have in this call. And then we're going to get into some Q&A and more intensive training after that to answer some of your questions you may have already experienced if you've already gotten access to Gearbox and set it up. Or if you're brand new on this call and this still sounds like Chinese. You saw how easy it was for me to set this thing up. I set it up in under 5 minutes. You can too. And then for those of you who want to play with it and understand it deeper, you can as well, right? As it is a very customizable product. But for those people who are brand new to EA trading, I've made it as simple as possible for you to get set up and started and start seeing Gearbox work for you by using the Gearbox loader and just selecting your strategy. Now, I do know we have some amazing guest speakers in the call, so I want to go ahead and make sure that they actually get promoted here to panelists. So I'm going to go into the participants here, and I'm going to look for our guest speakers here, and I'm going to promote them right now. So I've gone ahead and I've allowed 2 people to come in here that were a part of our beta group. You know, they've seen phenomenal results with the product. I know one of our speakers here, Mr. Dante Lewis, he was one of the first people I knew that started seeing me play with bigger balances with Gearbox. And I think he messaged me like 3 or 4 months ago and said, I'm going to put $60,000 live in Gearbox next week. And we were in early beta stage still. And I said, I love it. You know, he sees what's going on. He believes in the product already. He sees the power. And I know Dante's seen some incredible results. And, you know, I just want him to come on and talk about his experience with Gearbox, what he believes it's going to do for Avoria Prime, what he believes it's going to do for his team, which I know his team has an amazing culture. They just had a great mastermind weekend I saw out in Tennessee with a bunch of their leaders. And, you know, I know that he believes Gearbox is going to be one of those products that really helps excel his organization. So I'd love to have Mr. Dante Lewis come on the line and talk about his experience with Gearbox and where he sees this going. Dante, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I'm here. It won't let me turn my video on, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm going to try and figure out how to make it to where you could possibly share your camera, but I do not believe that I have that power. So if there's that power, they'll let us know. But
sounds like a plan. Well, yeah, I just wanted to get on for a couple of minutes and just share my experience with Gearbox. I've been a part of like the original kind of beta test group with Gearbox since Tyler was first kind of going over the strategy and the initial push for why we did this and why we're excited about it is that it's kind of like a spinoff of Alexander and Einstein. It's like Alexander and Einstein on steroids. It's like taking the things that you like the best from that software and being able to make that. He said he can do his camera now. Perfect. All right, bet. All right, awesome. So what I love about Gearbox is that it just makes a lot of sense with the strategy of trading that we already were using. I get questions all the time now from customers, or I've gotten questions all the time about why am I in this much drawdown? Why is the software buying when the market's going down? Why is this like, I get questions like that all the time from people. And one thing I know that's going to make a lot of sense with Gearbox is that when it actually does enter a trade, you go look at it with your own naked eye, it makes a lot of sense. Like you'll look at that and say, okay, wow, that was a big drop. I think that it'll make more sense to your natural eye, which I think is great. One thing I will give as advice for Gearbox is that it's going to take patience. It took me a while to kind of understand how much patience is really required with it. Sometimes I know for people, we're accustomed to turning on the software and then immediately being in trades. And that's not the narrative with Gearbox anymore. So with that, I would say that anybody who's just turning your software on, you want to allow a day, maybe 2 days, sometimes 3 days to go by before it even enters a trade, but that's for your own benefit. I know that Los and Tyler and some of the other more experienced traders will tell you that sometimes the best trades are just not being in the market and not trying to force an opportunity out of thin air and really just waiting and allowing. One of my old trading mentors used to tell me all the time, like, you don't dictate and go take from the market. You watch what the market does, and then you respond from that point. So I love Gearbox because it's really responding to what the market gives you as opposed to trying to like force something out of thin air. For me, I've been using the sniper strategy on Ghost plus Real now for months. I haven't really changed much, although I will be using the swing strategy more so. But I love the sniper because it allows you to to be patient and have confluence on your entries. I know that anybody here who will be trading any other accounts outside of their manual one, so outside of their Gearbox account, Gearbox is almost like a signal service in itself. Like once you see it enter a couple of trades, you can go and look on a manual account and kind of like see if it lines up with any other strategies and have so much confidence when you're entering a trade. And it makes a lot of sense to the naked eye. And then my final part about why I love the software is that for the last 2 years now, we've been pretty much pushing a service that cost somebody $1,300 to get involved. Because like Tyler said, the most cost averaging strategies, you need at least $1,000 in an account. So with that, and with our subscription being $267 prior, you're looking at almost $1,300 to get into the game. When in reality, we all know that 80% of people living on planet Earth don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. So what are the chances of them having $1,300 of discretionary income that we're telling them up front that, it's Forex. So there's a potential, always a chance for loss. So you're telling people that. So you're not like the room for growth as a company has now expanded so much by having a software and a resource that will allow people to get started at that $250 to $500 range, even though obviously you want more, but for at least to get them that taste. And I think that we truly allow our mission of exposing people to products that are going to allow them to be profitable in the markets so much more by bringing Gearbox to the table. So definitely shout out to Tyler and to the development team behind the scenes for making it happen. It is greatly appreciated. And we're ready to take this thing to the next level.
You crushed it, Dante. And, I'm excited to see what your organization goes and does with Gearbox. I've seen the culture you guys have and what you're making happen, and the results that we've seen, still blow me away. So it's going to be a very prosperous future here for us in Avoria Prime. And thank you for coming on the call, Dante. And as well, we have an amazing builder, from the traditional network marketing space. This man's a legend in the industry. And I know he got into the trading world with us and Expert Advisors a short period ago as well. And, started really testing these things before really, putting his face out there. And I know the results he has seen with Gearbox have blown him away and have got him super excited to go build a massive business here in Avoria Prime and share this with thousands of customers around the world. But Mr. Nick Sorensen, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tyler. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. You can take it away.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I love Gearbox. When Sal first told me that, hey, months ago we started this whole, quest to search out all softwares around the whole globe with, the goal to find softwares that, A, can be profitable, B, low risk, and C, to make it simple for the everyday person to come in and have success. I was totally on board with that because, for me, I'm not a Forex trader. I'm not an expert. I've been trading software since, Alexander was first shown to me months and months ago. And I've got addicted to it because I do believe that the everyday person, with you plug in, without being an expert, without staring at charts, can come in and have success. Now, when Sal said, hey, here's our goal, and we're going to go find, look under every rock, look at every developer, look at every software we can find and seek those out to really solve that goal. I'm definitely on. And so, I volunteered for every group that we could jump on. Gearbox has been an absolute blast. And, to echo what Dante said, to echo what Tyler said, is I really believe that it's answered that goal that Sal had sought out when they first looked at softwares. You saw some of those returns on those accounts, and then you look at drawdown. Like, to be able to get those type of returns and really minimize risk, minimize your open trades, like, it's a dream, right? From the standpoint of really what you're putting out there to get the returns, it's incredible. And then you guys saw the setup. What I love about the beta test groups, what I love about Tyler, is that it's just total data driven. Like that, these beta test groups, it's just a bunch of data nerds that just love to crunch numbers. And it's not based on, hey, hope or hype or anything else. It's just based on numbers, right? Here's what historically it's done. If you put this in, here's what you're going to get. And it's just been so fun to be a part of that group, not only to watch and look at these brains that come up with these different settings, but then just to go through and say, hey, okay, great, this works, but let's try to stress test it here, stress test it here, stress test it here. And so what we have now, yeah, I am too. Like, I'm in there and I'm crunching numbers and having fun. Matt just said, hey, I'm proud to be a nerd. Like, it's been so much fun because I do believe that, that goal that we sought out early on, that Sal sought out, that the whole group sought out, to go find products that can have, high profitability, low risk, and make it simple for the everyday person that has no idea about Forex. If you come in and plug in, right, listen to the trainings, just plug in, you can go have success. And we've seen it with these accounts. So whether it's Sniper, whether it's swing. I've been running swing. When we first started out, we said, hey, we believe that, swing will probably be what the masses do. And that's where I am. I am one of the masses. Like, I'm not a Forex expert. I've never made a manual trade in my life. And I've actually taken pride in that because software's been so much fun. But running multiple accounts on Gearbox with the different strategies, with the different currency pairs and different lot size, it's just been an absolute blast. And I think the most exciting part is that we have people that will be on this Zoom today that will grow massive accounts, having no knowledge about Forex. Just by plugging in, learning the education, you'll learn a ton. I'm still not a Forex expert. I've gotten really good at driving the software just because I plugged in. I plugged into the Zooms, plugged into the calls, plugged into our education we have, and then just listen to all these, incredible numbers and data that we have. So it's fun. It's really excited for everybody to have the experience with it. Like Dante said, be patient. Not only be patient on your entries, but also be patient too. The first time on my trade tab on the MetaTrader 4 app that I had a large blue number, right? Most of the time we're in drawdown, which drawdown's a great thing. Like, I love drawdown now because that's what turns into money. But I looked out there and I sent Tyler a message, said, hey, I'm in like 3% in the positive. Like, is there something wrong? He's like, no, you just haven't hit your take profits yet. And I'm just going like, okay, but I want to touch it. Like, I want this to turn into profit. So you got to be patient in the setup. You also got to be patient with it closing. But the key is here, have a lot of fun and dream big. That's what this company is created for. They brought some incredible developers together to literally, you guys run down your dreams and you have it in your hands. Go take advantage of it.
Nick, you said one of my favorite things right there. And, it's so many people are used to using expert advisors and being in drawdown. And there's all these times I refresh my MetaTrader and I just see all this blue. And, so many people aren't used to seeing floating profit. And I'm looking forward to many people starting to wake up and have that same revelation of, man, I'm in 1% or 2% profit. Should I close these out? And it's like, it's up to you, right? You want to close them. But sometimes there is the patience in having the discipline to know that, hey, that you might have 1-2% floating profit, but that could turn to 3 or 4 or 5, right? I've seen a trade setup where I had 3 currency pairs open that all started to swing at once. That in one day it closed at 5%, right? So you never know what's going to happen. It's taken very precise trades going for larger amounts of pips.